What is up, Raider Nation? Welcome back to the LV Raider 10 YouTube channel. And I know it's been kind of a while since I've done like an edited video. I've been normally doing just a podcast on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but I'm gonna start getting back into like edited videos, reactions, and stuff like that. But we're gonna go ahead and start it off with an official press conference, the introductory press conference from our two biggest hires so far, and that is our GM and John Spytek and our head coach Pete Carroll. And I am absolutely juiced about both of these hires. If you can see back here, I'm a huge USC fan, so Pete Carroll is definitely one of my favorite coaches, and I'm really excited to see what kind of culture he brings, what kind of energy he brings. I know a lot of people are saying he's old. The game's kind of past him. He's 73. He's going to be 74 when the season starts. But to me, he still has that energy. He still has that will to be a good head coach, and I think it's very possible, and we will see it definitely here in this press conference. I watched it in its entirety earlier today while it was going live, but we're gonna just go ahead and watch a couple. I think it's an 8-minute video on YouTube of mainly just Pete Carroll talking, and I just want to get a little bit of a reaction here going and kind of talk it through. So let's go ahead and get into it.
This just in on HQ, Pete Carroll being introduced as the new Raiders head coach and John Spytek being introduced as the new GM. Let's go to the podium.
For so many reasons. I first want to say I'm so fired up to be here with John, and because I know that first time around is really something, and so we're gonna celebrate this in a fantastic way. We're gonna partner in this thing. It's so important that our relationship is dynamic and extraordinary and true, and so you'll see that come in time. So nice job, man. Congrats. Being a kid that grew up in the Bay Area and my dad made me a Niners fan when we were going to Kezar Stadium back in the day, parking in Golden Gate Park, and then the Raiders came to town. And when you're in the Bay Area, you know you can take sides and all, but the Raiders captured me a long time ago, and I'm just filled with gratitude to be part of this.
And I think that kind of just speaks to the weight that the Raiders hold, not just as a football organization, but as an entity itself. Like just the aura that the Raiders have, it really impacts people that's obviously not even fans of the team. Pete Carroll just said that he grew up a Niners fan, and then the Raiders came, and they were so captivating that you couldn't help but watch essentially.
So many elements that made this come together that are so special and so unique, and as you heard John, start right with family and the support that we get. My wife Glenna is here. That she's been through it all. We've been through every imaginable experience in this game, and she has stood so strong with me, and she's meant everything in the world. She's been involved with this process all the way throughout, and side by side we're here, and so we're really excited about that. We got a big family, because you mentioned the numbers. I've got grandkids, and I love them, and we got a bunch of them, and we got a whole family to follow this venture that we take here. This really begins with the Davis family, and I grew up under Mark's dad, watching this program come together. But I've seen in such short order, just in this time that we've come together to get to this point, Mark Davis put together an extraordinary group to make this happen and make this a unique opportunity in the league, and a unique opportunity for the Raider Nation and for our fans that will follow us, and it's one of a kind. And he's assembled a group to support us that I know that John and I have just been knocked out by ownership that is one of a kind. And Egon Durbin is part of this. Michael Meldman's part of this. Tom Wagner's part of this. But when Mark figured out how valuable it would be to put Tom Brady in this mix and bring that kind of football background and history, Mark made a great move. And
yeah, I know a lot of people, when the Tom Brady thing was first announced that he would be part owner of the Raiders, obviously I feel like the Raiders and Raider fans know that we were kind of the team that kicked off his big run with the Patriots with the whole Tuck rule, and then kind of the rest is history. So a lot of Raider fans, I know, when he was first announced, it was kind of rubbing them the wrong way. But this offseason in particular has really shown that just his influence around the league and the respect he has around the league got us an interview with Ben Johnson, who was the top candidate this coaching cycle, and had really attracted Pete Carroll, who was one of the most successful coaches in this hiring cycle as well. Without Tom Brady, I can really honestly say I'm not sure if we land Pete Carroll, and I can definitely tell you we don't get an interview with Ben Johnson. So you can think all you want with about Tom Brady and the whole situation, but he's already shown his pull and his influence. I'm kind of excited to see how else he fits into the role as an owner, and what other kind of responsibilities he takes on from here on out.
It's our job to celebrate that for Mark, and to make sure that this comes to life the way it can, with the great possibilities and the great future and the immediate future as well. So my hat's off to you guys. I'm so fired up that we're doing this together, and it's going to be unique. Then they're going to be surprised what comes. As far as for my opportunities, I've been all over the place. You guys all know that, and I've had great chances to start up programs that had faltered in the past. And when we went to USC, it was after being fired a couple times, and I've been through that. And I was a young coach and found out I didn't know anything after my experiences, but had an opportunity to find my philosophy and my approach, and following the New England days. And the next stop was USC. And that university was an extraordinary match for me at the time. They were struggling. We put something together, and we did something historic there on the really based on a philosophy that came out of all of the years before, the 27 years it took me to get to that point in my coaching career. And to me, I look back at the days in Los Angeles at SC as really the building blocks of the philosophy that we were able to take to Seattle, and to carry the mentality and the approach and the design of it and the culture that we established into the NFL to see if it would work. It was really just an experiment in my mind, but in both situations, it just took us a couple of years to get going. And I know that rhythm, and I'm expecting that rhythm. I'm anticipating that we're going to find that rhythm right here, right now, here in Vegas. And so, with the
Yeah, he was saying prior to the USC job, where he really found his first kind of established success and continued success at USC, and then obviously he went on to Seattle, and now he's here in Vegas. But prior to that, he had been a coach for 30 plus years prior to that, and including 2 head coaching jobs in the NFL with the New York Jets and the New England Patriots. And he was not extremely successful, obviously, because you don't really hear about him in those jobs as talked as being like one of the best head coaches in those organizations. But he really figured it out at USC. And to me, again, going back to his age kind of thing, he really figured it out along the way, and USC was his first stop of really putting all of his philosophies together and really putting it out on the field. And he figured it out. USC translated it extremely well into the NFL with Seattle, and now I'm really excited to see what he does with the Raiders. But he's a guy that learns as he gets older, and he only gets better as he gets older. So the whole thing of him being the oldest head coach, it does not scare me in the least, because I think he's just going to continuously be able to get better and wiser. And we have him for, I believe, is 3 years for sure, and then a 4-year team option after that. I would love to see him be a part of this organization after his head coaching contract is up, as just a person in the front office, as an advisor, as someone like that, because I think his impact in the game is just really unquantified, and I'm really, really excited to see what he does with this Raiders roster.
Raiders and this opportunity, I feel like I've been there before, and I'm going to bank on that, and I'm going to follow my instincts and support with John and through as we extend to ownership in a way that we're going to be proud of. And we're going to be fired up about who we are and what we stand for. We have a great following in the Raider Nation, and they've done amazing. They've made an amazing statement globally. And I'm so proud to be part of that and recognizing that we get to represent our following. And here in Las Vegas, to do it in this setting right here, where people can't wait to come see us. They can't wait to see what we're all about, wherever our fans come from. We do want to fill our stadium up with our guys. I know that we have a good draw for people
Yeah.
from out of town. There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Mark, settle down a little bit.
And for those of you who don't know, that was Marshawn Lynch. Obviously, Pete Carroll coached him back in Seattle, and they have a really great relationship. And Marshawn Lynch was a Raider. He grew up as a Raider fan, and he was obviously a Raider for the end of his career. So that's really cool to see alumni like that, especially supporting Pete Carroll. And it really shows his impact that he has and the respect that he has amongst his own players that he's coached. So that's really cool to see.
But it's real. This is a real challenge for us, and we're going to go arm in arm, John and I, and we're going to put this thing together in a way that's going to make you proud. You all wondering about timelines and all that. It took us a few years to get to the very top of the last couple programs I was with. We're starting right now, going for it immediately. We don't have some timeline. We got to make it 5 or 6 years down the road. That's not what we're thinking. We're going to start right now to go after it and build this team as quickly as we can. As John saw Max back there, Max, send a message, man. We're coming after you. We're going to come find you guys and get this thing rolling as soon as possible with the highest of expectations, with a mentality that will drive high performance in a way that hopefully everybody's going to hear us and they're going to know us. And so I'm really proud to take on that challenge. So thrilled to be here. Thanks again to Mark and Tom and guys. Thank you here. Away we go. Let's go. Raiders Nation. Let's go, baby.
So that was just a quick, 8-minute clip from just really hearing from Pete Carroll and, his thoughts going forward as he's going to be a part of this Raider organization and obviously going to be the head coach. Obviously, he said a lot more in the rest of the press conference. If you want to watch that, it's on the Raiders YouTube channel. I highly recommend going watching that because he said a lot with little nuggets of here of how he wants to build the roster, what he thinks about offensive play, and how he wants to protect the quarterback and things of that sort. If you want to go ahead and watch that, highly recommend it. It's in the Raiders YouTube channel. And then this is something extra that if you really want to get fired up about this Pete Carroll head coaching hire, is I watched a podcast episode, I believe it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. It's Bussin' with the Boys. It's Taylor Lewan and Will Compton. Their podcast is extremely popular, but they had Clay Matthews and his older brother Kyle Matthews, who was on that USC team with Pete Carroll, and they just have the greatest stories of how Pete Carroll runs his meetings, how he operates practice, how he goes about competition within the team. And Pete Carroll talked about the competition that he wants to bring within the team for the Raiders. So I thought it was very fitting and relative to what he was talking to today. So if you want to check that out, I'll put that video in the description, and it's a great watch. It's super entertaining. But like I said, if you want to just find some more stuff about how Pete Carroll operates his team and how he is as a coach, especially from people that has played for him, you can go ahead and watch that. And then again with the Marshawn Lynch, it just shows how much respect he has around the league, and it shows with the fan base how connected he is to the fan base, because during the press conference in the live, there was a ton of Seattle fans showing support for Pete Carroll. Obviously, he's not with the Seattle Seahawks anymore, but they were all very excited for him getting another opportunity as a head coach in this league. And I think, that just shows the culture he's built, not only for the team, but for the organization as a whole. I'm really excited, and I think Raider fans are as well, or at least they should be, in the opportunity that we have moving forward with a culture builder like Pete Carroll. But that's going to be it. Thank you, Raider Nation. I am trying to start getting back into these edited videos, more recorded videos. So go ahead and please leave a like and subscribe if you want to continue on this journey with me. And also make sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with the podcasts that I do on Wednesdays. Wednesdays I do a podcast with Cheetah Linus or Leo, J305 or J Raider, and Jeff from New England Raiders Boosters. That's the Raider Connection. It's going to be live on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So you can catch that every Wednesday, and then every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. That's me and Jeff New England Raider Boosters. That is Raiders Coast to Coast, and that will be streaming on both of our channels as well. So please go ahead and leave a like and a subscribe if you are willing to talk more about Raiders. Obviously, we're going to be talking about this press conference on Wednesday and Thursday, and then we got a lot more stuff lined up. So please leave a like, subscribe if you want to talk some more Raiders. Thank you, Raider Nation. Just win, baby.